Why are you here? You're here to outwork. You're here to outtrain. You're here to win.
Here with Marco Vespa. Marco, thanks for taking the time to weigh in with me today.
No problem, yep.
Marco, two-time state medalist, took third last year, going into your senior year, just committed to Penn State wrestling, pretty exciting time. But let's go back to the very beginning. Hey, when did you start wrestling? How old were you?
So I started wrestling when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I grew up in a wrestling family with 2 older brothers that wrestled, so that's when I started. And as time went on, I trained hard and harder, and I grew to love it more and more. Even at my younger age, I just had a lot of fun with it. Growing up, being around the wrestling community, it was a great experience for me, and I'm really blessed to have such a good support system that brought me up in wrestling. So yeah.
Now, a lot of the younger brothers I know from my old wrestling days, or that I talk to now, when they talk about growing up with older wrestling brothers, let's just say they got pinned a lot at home.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, so it was tough, growing up with a lot of older brothers. I grew up with 4 older brothers, and I still remember my fourth grade picture for school. I had a black eye in it because my brother gave me a black eye when we were wrestling. But that's just the culture of the sport. That's why I love it so much, because it's tough, it's gritty, and you're gonna get banged up. But that's what teaches you the most values as a man, and that's what's gonna teach me the most on the wrestling mat. So I'm grateful that everything's happened so far, and I'm grateful for the future.
Was the black eye from wrestling in the wrestling room or around the house?
No. So I have wrestling mats in my basement, and my dad used to train us. And after a workout, my dad always made us wrestle live. And my brother is real good, so even at a younger age, he used to beat me up real tough. So he didn't care. He wanted me to get tougher, and he got me tougher. So it happened.
Got it. Now, was your mom from a wrestling family, or your dad?
No, just my dad. He wrestled in Clifton, New Jersey. He was on the wrestling team.
Okay. Was he ever a club coach for you, or just a home coach?
He was the town program coach. He coached a lot of my buddies, So I grew up with a lot of good teammates that ultimately went onto my varsity team, and had a lot of success with them. They're on to wrestle D1. A bunch of D1 wrestlers now. So
gotcha. So you talked about liking the sport right away. When did you start being self-driven? What age?
I would say, in New York, you can wrestle your 7th and 8th grade year in middle school. So after my 8th grade year, I won the section tournament, so I was able to go to the state tournament and wrestle. And after the state tournament, I lost. I almost placed, but I didn't place. After that 8th grade year, I really started to get hungrier and hungrier. So after there, I was like, I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. I think it's my time to step up as a competitor and do it myself if I want to achieve my goals. So yeah, that's about the time.
So with that memory, what was it about the sport that made you so passionate and driven? What
made me so passionate? I would say just the type of practices I would be put through, and the fact that not a lot of people want to go through that. And I'm not the type of person that wants to do everything that other people want to do. I want to do my own thing, and that's my life. That's my life, and that's my family. That's what I grew up on, is doing things that people aren't willing to do, and that's why I'm so blessed to be a part of this family.
So, talking about your mental game there, where do you get that mental toughness? Is that something you inherited and then honed, or is it, you mentioned you have some older brothers who have wrestled, youngest of...
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think my mental toughness comes from my coaches, Coach Garteezer and Coach Ron. They always instilled a great mindset for me with mental toughness and just being grateful for every opportunity I have to step on the mat. And, my mindset isn't perfect. I still have a lot of stuff to work on with my mind, No one's perfect, so I'm still working every day to become the best person I can be every day, whether that's physically or mentally. I'm always trying to progress in my mental game and everything.
You mentioned your coaches. Can you point out a few coaches or wrestlers who have had the biggest impact on you?
Wrestlers?
Or coaches, both of them.
Okay, so I think the coaches that have had the biggest impact are Coach John Ron, Coach John Garteezer, Coach Fishbein.
Yeah.
Yep. They've helped me through. I've known them since I was 8 years old. They grew up watching me wrestle. They grew up watching me lose. They grew up watching me throw temper tantrums, wanting to quit the sport, and they never gave up on me because they knew how much I loved it. And they saw the potential in me, and I'm really grateful that they never gave up on me.
Can you tell me from that moment when you was 8th grade?
Yeah.
What were the biggest changes in you as a person that were necessary to become, a state medalist in New York, which is, it's a pretty tough state?
Yeah. So I would say, can you repeat the question?
What were the biggest changes you made after that to advance as a wrestler?
Yeah. Okay. So I would say just taking a loss like a man and just being able to swallow it and move on and not dwell on it too much. Also, just realizing that there's a lot more to the sport than just just winning and losing. In a loss, sometimes you can win. You can learn a position that ultimately can make you a state champ or whatever your goal is. So I think when I lost my 8th grade year, I knew that it was back to the drawing boards, and I had a lot of potential. Every day after that state tournament, the only thing that was on my mind was just constantly scoring points and winning. So, yeah.
Okay. Going into your senior year, you just committed to Penn State. Can you tell me a little bit about what the recruiting process was like for you?
Yeah. So I met the coaches when I went to camp my freshman year. So by NCAA rules, they weren't allowed to contact me.
Yep.
So we talked at camp. They watched me wrestle a couple times. I assume they liked me. So I made sure I kept in contact with them when I went to camp. And, when I was able to contact them through NCAA, I wanted to go to Penn State, so that's it.
That was it? Did you look at any other schools?
Yeah, a bunch of other schools were interested. So NC State I would talk to sometimes, Old Dominion, University of Virginia, Hofstra University, all great schools.
And why did you choose Penn State?
I chose Penn State because it's Penn State. Nothing beats it. The wrestling's awesome. The coaches are great. The community is great. Everywhere I went, everyone had a smile on their face. They had a good time being there. And, the workouts were awesome. I watched all the guys. The guys were so cool to me. And I just felt like this is the place I need to be to achieve my goals in wrestling and in life. So I'm excited to get out there and train. Yeah.
Gotcha. A lot of kids I talk to these days about recruiting say that it's a nerve-wracking or stressful process. How would you describe it?
Yeah, I would say, I would say it's similar to that, but a lot of people during my process always told me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't let it stress you out. But sometimes my mind takes over a little bit. But I'm positive I made the right choice. I've been wanting to go to Penn State ever since I was a little kid. Watching David Taylor attack his guy in the national finals. That's always my goal. So yeah.
Any advice for someone who's going to go through the recruiting process next year?
Yeah, just don't get too caught up in it and make sure you're working hard every day to become the best version of yourself every single day, whether it's in school, whether it's in wrestling, whether it's in life, your relationships. Don't focus too much. You want to make sure you're into it, and you want to make sure the decision is for you and what's best for you, but make sure you're still controlling your daily life.
Gotcha. Good stuff. Tell me a little bit about your visit to State College.
Yeah, so I went with my mom. We went and we met the coaches. We watched the practice, a really fun practice. What else did we do?
Were you allowed to wrestle during your visit or not?
I didn't wrestle.
No? Okay.
So yeah, we watched the practice. I hung out with the team a little bit. I hung out with Marco and Vincenzo Joseph, a bunch of other teammates. We went to dinner. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We went to dinner, and then we went to the Kent State football game, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They beat them pretty bad, which is cool to watch. And we went on the sideline, which was cool too. Got to see the band and everything, so that was fun. Nice.
Do you stay in touch with them? Any of those guys?
Yeah. I talk to Mark Hall every day.
Do you really?
Yeah,
good guy.
He's awesome.
Like him.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to answer this, but have you been measuring up? Cody Sanderson's not getting any younger. Do you think that you might get back points on him before you're done?
I don't know. Sometimes when I wrestled him at camp, he always put me to my back with that Winn-Dixie move, but who knows?
Gotcha. I'm just teasing. I like Cody.
Yeah, Cody's the man.
He's got a good sense of humor. So you have an older brother wrestling for Hofstra. It's Vinny, right?
Yeah, Vinny Vespa.
Yep. What was it? What's a match look like between the two of you guys?
Well, he's a bit bigger than me, but I would say it's unique. You know, we go hard, but he uses a little bit of man strength to take me down. But I get on his legs pretty well, and if I can just beef up a little bit, I'll be able to take him down sooner or later.
Was he the one you would wrestle with around the house the most, or your closest in age?
Gosh. Me and my brother, when we were growing up, we would wrestle in the pool, we would wrestle on the rug, we would wrestle everywhere, and then we'd wrestle in the basement with my dad. You know, everywhere we were wrestling.
Any holes in the walls?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were your parents get upset? Were these matches under control, or were these just like brotherly?
I would say when we were younger, when we were like kids, they were getting out of control because our emotions were crazy. But as we got older, we matured and we understood that it's a process where we need to get better, and it's not a fight. So, you know, it's all about getting better every day and helping each other.
How are you approaching your senior year? Last year you placed third. Going into your senior season, do you feel more pressure here as you close out high school, or what? How do you approach it?
So I'm just approaching it. I'm excited to be able to have one more season. I don't really feel too much pressure. I'm really just excited. I'm excited to be able to see where I've gotten better in the summer and where else I can get better. And it feels good to be able to know where I'm going for my wrestling after this year. So I'm going to be able to open up even more, and my main goal is to win a state title and score as many points as I can. So that's going to be my project for this season.
Nice. Now I've talked to a couple other recruits and even guys who have over the years who have gone on to be national champions there, and the room can be a little daunting. I've talked to at least one national champ who graduated from there, and he's like, I didn't get a takedown for like 3 months. And it's kind of loaded. I mean, do you think about that, or are you just excited to go in there and get busy?
I think that's the main thing that me and my coaches were talking about is if I want to achieve my goals, I got to be getting my butt kicked every day. So that's a great opportunity for me. Being able to wrestle the best guys in the country every day. So that's it's really a great opportunity, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know yet. Mainly right now, I want to be maybe a teacher, something like that. I want to coach. I want to continue coaching wrestling when I'm done. When it's all said and done. So,
gotcha. Have you thought about how? Did Penn State play into that academically as far as being a teacher, or something beyond that, or is it?
Not really. I was always inspired by my coach, Coach Garteezer. He's a great role model for me.
What does he teach?
Phys ed.
Phys ed, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. When do you see yourself moving to State College?
Whenever the coaches need me to move.
Okay. Do you think that you'll be enrolling next year, or do you think you might gray shirt, or you haven't covered it?
I don't know yet. Whatever's the best decision for me, and whatever the coaches think is best for me.
Got it. What's your walk-around weight right now?
Around 128.
128? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you going to wrestle this year?
I don't know. Whatever my coach thinks is best for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge in wrestling?
I would say biggest challenge is just realizing that after a loss everything's all right, and world's not ending. So I think that's my biggest challenge still today, though. I have a passion for the sport and I hate losing. So I work on it every day. So I just want to really, really get better every single day, and that's my main goal every day.
I want to just dive in there a little bit. A lot of the kids who will listen in, that I coach at the youth level. I've coached at a bunch of different levels, but right now it seems like kids, junior high and under, they dread losing pretty significantly. How has your mental approach to losing changed over time?
I just honestly, I remember losing in middle school and all those years, and I always had this standard. I was always held to a standard, so whenever I lost, I'd really get down on myself and be like, man, am I not going to be the person that these people think I am? But I think that's evolved into, I lose. I'm like, okay, what can I do next time in the room to get better? So I'm ready for those positions. I'm not focused on, is this going to affect where I'm at in down the road? I'm not worried. I think that's stupid to worry about at such a young age. I think you should be worrying about having fun every single day because it's a sport. You want to have fun, and that's what's going to get you better. So. Got it.
What do you consider your most satisfying accomplishment so far?
In wrestling?
Yep.
I haven't really hit my main accomplishments, but I would have to say taking third in the state. But
okay,
it's all right.
Peaking college, or
yeah. This year.
If we watched you in the practice room, what kind of guy would we see in the practice room?
It depends if we're going live or drilling. When I drill, I go hard. When I go live, I go hard. So.
Nice. What kind of self-talk do you have? Are you talking to yourself during practice about working on things? What's your mindset during practice?
I would say my mindset is normally just, every time I shoot is just to make sure I'm shooting for a state title right there. I'm shooting for a national title right there. Okay. I want to make sure every time I shoot it's with a purpose. That's what my coach instilled in me. So I don't want to shoot any sloppy shots, and if I get taken down in practice, I gotta get back to my feet and I gotta shoot.
How about in a match? How do you mentally approach a match? Are you warming up thinking about what your game plan is, or are you just kind of vibing the music?
I would say, just whatever happens, no matter what. So it's a wrestling match, but you gotta consider all the outcomes. And you just gotta put your best foot forward and not be afraid to lose. You gotta open up, because when you close up, that's when you're going to lose. But if you're opening up and you lose, oh well, you're opening up. You're scoring a lot of points. That's my main focus when I wrestle, is score a lot of points.
Got it. What's your relationship with cutting weight?
I haven't really cut too much weight. I'm real tall, so people are always asking me how much I weigh, and whenever I tell them my weight, they're like, really? So I'm a real tall kid, but I don't really like to cut too much weight. It makes me not really want to wrestle.
Yep.
But so I like feeling good, and I like wrestling, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Any idea where you see yourself with that tall frame as a freshman or a sophomore in college?
I don't know. I haven't really grown much from the season last year, so it all depends on what my body wants to do, honestly.
You talked about after your wrestling career wanting to coach wrestling. What is it that compels you about the sport? I mean, it's the hardest dang thing in the world. Right, yeah. And whether you're an NFL football player or a UFC fighter, they'll tell you if they wrestled, like high school or college wrestling was harder than what they're doing now. What is it about it?
I just think it teaches you the right values. I've watched plenty of videos on people that have wrestled in their lives, and what they value in the sport. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you so many things. It teaches you the right relationships. It teaches you how to work hard. It teaches you everything. So I want to be able to instill that in kids when I grow up, because I think it's such an important thing to learn. And I've learned so much from it, and I just want to be able to give back.
Gotcha. All right, lightning round. You can give me a one-word answer or a sentence. You ready?
Okay.
Favorite food?
Chicken fingers.
New York wrestling?
Awesome.
Penn State wrestling?
We are best.
Most distracted thought you've ever had during a match?
Batman.
Are you a gamer?
Yes.
What game?
Fortnite.
Oh, man, my brother-in-law did the sound on that. Are you good?
Very.
I'm pretty sure Mark Hall told me that winning a Fortnite game was about the same emotional satisfaction as winning a national championship. Do you feel like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite wrestler to watch?
David Taylor.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck this season. Be following you and looking forward to seeing you at State College.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Anything you want to say to the fans out there?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my mom. She deserves the world. She's the best.
Thanks for taking the time, Marco.
Thank you.